Welcome to my YouTube channel, Windmill Flower Farm. This is my very first video, and thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Paula, and this is my world. It's a small farm, 5 acres, in the middle of the best soil in Northern California. This is my flower studio. This is the cooler, and this is my world. This is where I'll take you today to spend a little time in making a Valentine's Day bouquet. And I hope to do many more coming that have to do with chickens and farming and gardening and floral design and knitting, crocheting, all things that have to do with life on a small farm. And these are my flock of heritage chickens, and I will take you into my studio and we will make some flowers, some beautiful flowers for Valentine's Day. Thank you for coming. Okay, so I'm in my flower studio. Again, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Paula from Windmill Flower Farm. And this is my studio, and out there is the farm, and I'll show you that later or the next video. So today I hope to show you a couple of arrangements for Valentine's Day that will be available through my farm. But what I first do is line up all the items I plan to use. I might not use all of them, but I usually get some filler. There's some wax flower, of course the roses, some leather leaf, salal. Then I have some stalks, some freesias, lisianthus, some mums, some roses again, little garden roses, baby's breath, and some misty. So anyways, I've lined them up, lots of colors that I think will look good in these vases. And I will start to work. And I fill the vases, of course, with flowers. The vases are cleaned, and I start cutting them and arranging them. So follow along with me. So I filled them with water, and now I'm going to put in some flower food. This is some ingredients that help to keep the flowers fresh. Hopefully, at least for four days to a week. That would be ideal. Some flowers last longer than others, and that's normal. So it's best if you receive flowers, when you get them, to cut the stems, get a fresh start, fresh water in your vase. Usually florists or grocery stores or wherever you buy them has the flower fresh available to you. Put it in the water. It helps to actually kill the bacteria in the water, and that helps to keep the flowers fresh. So trim the flowers, and maybe every day, for sure every other day, change out the water. Give them fresh water, and it doesn't hurt to clip them again. The more you clip them, that gives them fresh stems to drink up fresh water. So let's get started. All right, I'm working with limited equipment, so please bear with me. I always start with filler flowers first. I make sure the quality is good. I start out here at the bottom of the vase, at the length that I think. I take off all the parts of the leaves or flowers that don't look healthy, have spots on them. I throw everything on the floor. That's what I do. And then when at the end of the day, I pick it all up. These are salal. They come in short stems. They come in long stems. A lot of times I'll do several vases at the same time, especially something like Valentine's Day, where I have a lot of orders to fill all at the same day. I like to see how this one has like a caterpillar probably ate that, so I take that off. We don't want that. Nobody would want to receive that. And then I've got some eucalyptus. Everybody loves eucalyptus. This is seeded eucalyptus. It's cold in here. Of course, it's January, everybody's cold. I have a little space heater. This is a room that used to be open when we had our farm, and it was completely running as a vegetable farm, fruit farm, and flower farm. And I would wash vegetables, prepare boxes, and we used to deliver CSA boxes once a week to customers. And we stopped doing the vegetables because the flowers became more interesting to customers than the vegetables. And then for several years we grew watermelon, pumpkins, tomatoes, cucumbers, but mostly flowers. And then my husband became ill, and so we had to cut back, and I mainly do flowers now. So this is where I spend a lot of my days. I do have music out here. It's set up. It's not always clean and neat and warm or cool in the summer, but it's my home, and I hope to share it with you. So that might be okay for a while. Let's see how that looks. I do have the baby's breath over here, but I put in baby's breath at the end. I do have some. This is leather leaf. It's actually a fern. So let's cut some of the smaller ones off. I take the bottoms off. Whoop, I ruined that one. Take the bottom leaves off. Stick it in there. Maybe cut the top and leave the bottom. I let the flowers tell me what they want, how they look best, if they're going to work, if they're going to stay put. All right, so that's enough there. I think I'll do some stalks. These are lovely white stalks. Let's see how tall those will be. They smell fantastic. Strip off all the bottom leaves. Usually in floristry, 3s are the number. 3 roses, 3 stalks, 3 stems of the same one. But you do odd numbers, so I'm going to stay with 1 right now. This is a spider mum. Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to stay with the whites. Have it stay over here. I have 1 more here. I do this because I want to make sure it's fresh and the leaves are going to stay on the petals. Put that over there. I like my arrangements to look natural. When I grow flowers, and particularly when I grew fields of flowers and I would pick them, I want my arrangements to look like I went out there and grew every one of these flowers, and I put them together in a big bundle and brought them in the house and put them in a vase. That's just who I am. Honestly, it's hard to get 2 that are exactly the same. That's why I'm a non-traditional florist. I don't have a book that shows you every single arrangement that's available and it's at this price, because I don't know what flowers are the freshest at that moment in time that you want it. I don't know what the quality of flowers that will be, how many are together. what's the theme. I always like for people to give me a theme, a birthday, anniversary, colors. See how this one's not too happy? I don't know what's going on, but I'll cut him off. All right, so we have some pinks and whites, and I got some freesia. I don't know if you know what a freesia is. It's fantastic. It's a bulb. They smell heavenly, and the shape is so interesting. So I'll try that. See how that looks. It's kind of interesting. And this one's not quite open yet, but it'll get there. So I'll do that in the red vase and put him over there. I might turn these around and see how this side's doing. It always helps because people might have them in the center of their table or on the kitchen sink, near the kitchen sink, and they look at it from all angles. So this is a Lysiantha. There's a couple of blooms there. They'll also open up, and this is a purple one. I grew these for years. Here's one that's opened up. I grew these just like an extreme amount because they're very popular. Purple, white, and pink. Here's another freesia. I might put another freesia in, but I don't think I have 3. Oh, I do have 3. So there's one in there. I think I'll do another one over here. And then, because there's one on this side, and I'll do one right here. So that's 3. Valentine's Day isn't always about roses. All right, so I think that's good for now. I'll leave one in there. And maybe I'll put some more roses in that one. This is a garden rose. Look how many stems are on there. It doesn't have to be the star. Roses don't have to be the stars. It's getting a little bit better. I don't know if I like what's happening here, but we'll have to look at that after a bit. And here's another garden rose. Sometimes the blossoms get knocked off in shipment or in the cooler. Yes, right here. Looks like a lost one. So you got to clean it up, pull off all the excess leaves. You got 2, 3, 4, 5 blossoms in that one. So this vase is looking pretty good. I think we're almost there. I probably need maybe one big rose and some baby's breath. I don't know. I don't see red in there. Oh, here's a beautiful pink one. I might use that one. See how I let the roses or the flowers tell me what I think is best to use. I'm going to put it in there and just absolutely hate it. I figure if I don't like it, my customer's not going to like it. There, I think that's beautiful. I still have that spot over there that's bothering me, but let's put that aside. Let's look at this one. I've kind of neglected this one. So I've got the one stalk. I've got the mums. In floristry, you got to do by stems. That's what your cost is. How many stems? And I lose track, unfortunately. I go by what it looks like, and many times my profit is marginal. But I have the beauty of working in my home on the farm where I live. My overhead is a little bit lower than a florist that's got a storefront. Not that I don't have expenses here, but I try to keep my arrangements within reason. So I put this in here. I cut off a few lower stems, but they're not wasted because I can use them in the lower part, and I put them together in threes, clip them off, and put them over here at this end with this Lysianthus. That Lysianthus might be a little too tall for me. See how I let the flowers talk? Let's try them this way. It's starting to rain. We've had the whole month of December with fog. We've had almost every day in January so far in fog. I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. Everything is damp, moist in the morning. It's dreary. But I do feel sorry for the people in the East Coast. Is that I guess there's some storms coming. Okay, so I got one rose. You know what? I do have some tulips. They don't have to be the same. It's not the same customer. So I have some white tulips. So I think I'll put a tulip in here. Maybe 2 tulips. Trim it up. Take the greens off. Flowers are very hardy. You'd be surprised. This guy's having a little problem staying inside. So I'll shove him in. Not really shove him in, but put him in the container. As I said, this is my very first video, but I do have a Facebook page, and most of my business is done through social media. I've done farming. We've been at farming here since 2007, and I started a page at that time on Facebook, and of course I'm on Instagram. So I've got 2 tulips, and now I think I'll put the third one in. There we go. Oh, and I have a heather. I only have this one. It's tall. Let me see if I can find a home for him, because he is beautiful. Just soft and feathery. I apologize about the camera. I've ordered a tripod, so that's coming, and also a microphone. So I hope the quality will get better. All right, so this one's more purpley, and I don't have a purple rose, but I still have another pink one, and I have a white one, and a red one. Well, the vase is red. That might be a good idea. Let's do red. Think it needs a little shorter. What do you think? It's got pinks, purples. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, I do have, this is actually one of my favorite filler, they call it a filler or line flowers, but I call it a filler flower, and it's wax leaf. And in the spring, wax flower. In the spring, in cool weather areas, it's very prolific, and it's a lovely alternative to, well, you actually get 2 for 1. You get flowers and you get greens. So I'm kind of thinking this gives it a little pink color. I think I'll add a little of this. It's a little teeny flower. It's kind of cute. It smells divine. I don't know if it's the greens or the flowers that smell. I've grown roses and snaps, mums, Lysianthus, but I've never, our area in Northern California, it's pretty hot. I've not been able to grow that here. So I think for this one, the last thing is going to be a little baby's breath. So out of baby's breaths, you get a lot of stems. And you can shove it in there and it's all like that. But sometimes it's best to cut them off where you're not going to use them, and just save them for a boutonniere, or save them for a little arrangement that's in a small little vase in the center of a table, like a bunch of little bud vases. So there's the baby's breath. I haven't been able to grow baby's breath here either in Northern California, but I did when we used to live in Nevada City, California. I had several bushes of baby's breath, and they did very well. They seem exotic, like it would only be grown in exotic temperatures. There. I think that's quite beautiful. Let's see what this white one looks like. It needs maybe some wax flower also. At the end of the day, I usually get a vase and put in all my short stems. I try to save money that way too. Be economical. I don't like to throw beautiful flowers away. So I'll save it, have it in a vase, and then if a project comes in, maybe a prom, as I said, the bud vases, a little small arrangement, somebody wants an inexpensive arrangement. A lot of my customers come back again and again for different occasions, and they say, can you make an arrangement for $15? Can you make an arrangement? I'm going to a friend's house that just got out of a hospital. I want to carry something. Can you do it for a certain price? And I try to keep prices as small as possible. I understand what it's like in this day and age about economics. And so I try to understand it for people too. Not everybody can order a $100 arrangement. Not in my area anyways. All right. I think the stem's too low, too short. I'm going to cut another one. I think it needs to go deeper in the water. I'll make sure I tell this customer that they need to keep this water filled. There. Okay, as a final thing, final touch, I could put, this bow's too big, but a small bow. Or I do have these little cards I got, little envelopes to put somebody's name on them. And I also have hearts that I can add. That's half the work, is doing all, not the work, but half the value is adding all the little touches that you do afterwards to make it just as special for the one person that gets one. So I hope you've enjoyed my demonstration of how to do a couple of arrangements. I think they've turned out good. I hope you would enjoy it. Let's see what I can do as an accessory. I have all my stuff I need all over the place. My place is never beautiful. It might be clean as I start out a new project. I have these little hearts. It could be a little on a skewer in there, or possibly a red one might be good with the polka dots. My business card and a bow. Thank you for joining me today for my first YouTube channel. And I do hope you come back, and I hope you like it. Hit the like button just like everybody says, and subscribe. And that way, when I put one out, I plan to do 2 a week. And right now, they may be a lot inspired for flowers because it is Valentine's Day. And you heard my dog Winnie. She is always with me. She's a 125-pound German Shepherd. And so she will be distracting you too every once in a while. So have a nice day, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.